says we live. Yeah, kind of. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory due unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, love, honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. All right, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the lesson here, titled, The Mark of the Beast equals the pure wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, so if there's ever a question as to how to piss the Lord off the most, is if you're an Israelite, that will be by taking the mark of the beast. Okay, and the scriptures support that. But y'all brothers have any opening comments?
I'm good, bro.
Okay. All right. Well, we can go ahead and start with Isaiah 5 and 11.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 5 and 11. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them.
Right. And the scriptures say, tarry not long at the wine, man. Reason being is because you will go into and go out and do things that you normally wouldn't do with a sober mind, you know? And so that strong drink spiritually represents, and we can get that in Revelation 17, it spiritually represents the false philosophies of this world, okay? The wine of Esau, okay? Of the devil, basically, man. All right, seducing you. Oh, you say you have something?
No, I said I got it.
Okay, yeah, seducing you into thinking that, you know, that this is the way to walk in. All right, which most of our people are drunk spiritually right now. Okay, so you got that? Huh?
Yeah, where you want to start, bro?
We were talking about the wine of her fornication, cause all nations to drink.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be pretty early in the verse.
I'm gonna start at 1.
Yeah, I think that's verse 1.
So this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Right, so the kings of the earth have committed fornication, all right, which is basically going into idol worship, okay, and have been made drunk with the wine of her the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, basically following the ways and philosophies of America, and the Israelites are no exception to that, all right. For example, you see Jake's, you know, on TV with shaved beards, you know what I mean, no hair on their head, okay, sponsoring, you know, bacon cheeseburger commercials, you know what I mean. There was an article that Elder Yashawamba put on the chat. It was this Jake, he was on a Gillette commercial showing his trans son how to shave. All types of wickedness.
Crazy,
but our people, the Esau uses the sellouts of our people to push that agenda. Man.
That's right.
Okay, and so that's why the Most High is most mad at our nation, because judges, we're supposed to be the judges of the earth. We're held to the highest standard. We're supposed to be the ones perpetuating the law, statutes, and commandments to these nations. Yet here it is, we're the ones exceeding the transgressions of the wicked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got this quick precept. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life?
Right.
Yeah.
So if we're supposed to be the judges of the world, why can we not settle small matters among ourselves? You know, that's the question that's being posed there. You know, and so that's why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has given us this time to get in the habit of judging according to the Spirit, because there's going to be times that come that, you know, we're going to have to make life and death decisions on the spot, okay? And we're going to have to trust in the Spirit more so than ever, okay? But for the 2/3, they're going to continue to piss the Most High off, all right? Continuing wallowing in their mud or in their mire, all right, and eventually the Most High is just gonna get rid of them, man. Okay. That's it on there.
That's all.
Okay, we go back to Isaiah.
All right, this is Isaiah 5:12. In the harp, in the viol, the tabret, in pipe, in wine, are in their feast.
Mm-hmm.
But they regard not the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, neither consider the operation of his hands.
Woo, man. So they have all of these different, trap beats going on. You know what I mean? They got the cognac. They got the tequila. They got the vodka. All the different drinks. You know what I mean? At the club. All right. But where is their mindset at? Is it towards pushing the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? Is it even towards believing, so that they themselves can be delivered? A majority of the Israelites are not concerned about that, and we see evidence of that by when we go out in the highways and byways and preach, and these hordes and hordes of Israelites just passing by us, not even looking our way. Okay, so the Most High and His angels take note of that. Okay, and there's gonna come a day when those actions or those lack of actions are going to be accounted for. Okay, which is the day that we're going into. All right, you got it out.
I got a precept.
Yeah.
So this is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 23. It said, but this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear, but walked in the counsels and in the imagination of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward. Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily, rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but harden their neck. They did worse than their fathers. And that's the point.
Mm-hmm. You want to break it down?
Yeah, it's going to what the brother wanted to show or to highlight or display is that our people are rebellious, and now the prophets are back. We are the servants of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We out there, man, rising up early and on a consistent basis. So you can't say, well, I went out there, but I didn't see y'all. Man, everybody know, when these brothers, everybody know Friday, these brothers gonna be on Accord and Maine. Everybody know on Friday, we gonna be on Texas and Maine.
Yeah,
They know this.
Okay.
And it's without, or within every city throughout the United States and across the world. The Most High Son is prophets. And just like the brother said, y'all walk by. Y'all not concerned. You Jake, man. 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you have no concern for the word of the Lord whatsoever. You rather go get a shuck and jive song and dance from some nigga in the pulpit because he makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. He tells you that, you can come as you are, and the Lord loves you, sweet Jesus loves you. Just sow that seed though, Mm-hmm. Just sow that seed and keep them blessings coming. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the real word, the true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, our people don't want to hear it. And there will be consequences to that, like the scriptures say, that stiff neck. There's going to be consequences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Absolutely. And like I said, that's the data we look for, man. I got a quick precept. Proverbs 29:1. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. So a man that's often reproved and consistently being told, hey, you're going off, stop doing that, you need to be doing this according to the scriptures, and you got multiple witnesses, according to the law, that are telling them, look, you continually transgressing. If you don't get right, the Most High gonna deal with you. You don't fix this, the Most High gonna get you. He gonna judge you, and he just keep doing it. Well, you give the Most High no choice but to destroy you, man.
That's right.
You see, and that unfortunately, is the story of 2/3 of our people, man. Okay, as much as he sent his prophets, like the brother just brought out in Jeremiah, to warn of the destruction to come, our people are so hard-headed, man. They got such an iron neck, okay, that they don't even want to turn their heads to listen to the prophets, man.
Right.
You know? And so, and the Most High put the Spirit on them to do that. And so that's why it says, shall suddenly be destroyed. The scriptures say that Yahweh Shai gonna come like a thief in the night.
That's right.
Okay? And that judgment is gonna come upon you, whether it be by the way of the sword, or by famine, or by pestilence, okay? Or by that second death, thermonuclear fire, man. Or by the laser beam coming out the chariots, man.
Yep.
Okay?
That's right.
And so that's what's gonna come upon these people, and it's gonna says what? Without remedy. Meaning without a way to heal or to reverse the damage that's been done.
Exactly.
It's gonna be that severe. This is severe. You know? Kind of,
point.
brother. So, would you have more on that precept, or we can go back?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we can go back.
It's Isaiah 5:13. Therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Right, and so that's the reason why, because of lack of obedience, okay, and because of lack of knowledge and application of knowledge, because of lack of wisdom, they've gone into captivity. We see the reason why we're in captivity now, because we haven't transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High for so long and so continually that we found ourselves in the absolute worst position that we've ever been in as a nation. You know?
That's right.
And our heritage taken away from us, all that, man. The name, you got it out.
Verse, you got it.
Yes.
Oh, you got it.
It's a little bit more.
Yeah, all the way to verse 15.
Okay. Verse 14. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory in their multitude, in their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
Right, so now, you know, if you were to look and compare, you know, at the glory of Israel as a nation before, you know, it was taken down, during the time of Isaiah, you know, we were pretty much in, you know, still in a pretty decent state, you know, because we had the northern tribes, okay, and the southern tribes, pretty much all still in the land, okay, but what happened? You know, they rebelled, start continually sacrificing to these idols, right? And so that word hell, Sha'awal, which is the grave, had enlarged herself, meaning that it just, the Most High caused masses of people to die, okay, because of their, the Most High wasn't with them, man, okay? And so that's exactly what we're gonna see now, again, these times, except on a larger scale, because there's way more people on the earth now than there was, you know, 2,000-3,000 years ago.
Yep.
You know?
Come on.
But 2/3 is 2/3, man. You know?
Read that one more time, bro.
Yeah,
This is Isaiah 5:14. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself.
Hell hath enlarged herself, man. And what does it say about Esau? You know, because we know that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and it said Esau enlarged his desire as hell.
Yep.
So, like the brother was talking about before we started the live stream, you know, you got our people, they 2/3 that is, are hell bent on following this devil, and they are following him straight to their destruction, which is hell.
Yep.
You know, they'll follow him straight to hell, which is where they're gonna end up. And all this is culminating into the mark of the beast is gonna be the ultimate rebellion.
Right.
That's the ultimate rebellion. And that's where all this stiff neck, all that stubbornness, all that is gonna culminate into 2/3 of our people taking that mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip.
That's right.
See, that's why when I read it said, I'm sending them early. It didn't have nothing to do with like 5 in the morning. It's talking about before the calamity. That's what it means by early. That's what we are the prophets. We are saying before. We are telling you early before it happens. And so here it says, read it again, hell.
It's verse 14, Isaiah 5:14. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself.
Jacob's trouble. Hell meaning death, destruction, you know, hell is a condition played out on the earth. And it's going to enlarge itself because hell is going to be spread all throughout the entire world. And so all the unrighteous are going to get caught up in that. Hell is going to be everywhere. And one thing the brother didn't mention was the teeth of beast. Some of you niggas just gonna get ate up,
Yeah, kind of.
devoured.
Yep.
Sit there and getting digested by some creature that Esau done cooked up in the lab.
Yep. That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
And open her mouth without measure, in their glory, in their multitude, in their pomp, he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
Exactly. That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
You 2/3 gonna catch it. It's going for Esau and these other nations too. You know? But you know, we have to prophesy to our people to call out to the elect. The other nations, yeah, this is it for them.
Mm-hmm.
After this, those who escape this calamity, they're going into captivity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we putting this exhortation, this warning out for, you know, you Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. If you have ears to hear, you better take heed to what these scriptures are saying.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you read verse 15?
Yeah,
You got it, bro.
Okay. Oh, you read it already?
No, I ain't
No,
get it yet.
yeah.
Okay,
read
okay,
it
go
yet.
ahead.
Want me to get it?
Yeah, Bible shot.
Isaiah 5:15. And the mean man shall be brought down,
Mm-hmm.
and the mighty man shall be humbled.
Right, so a mean man is an insignificant man,
Yeah.
okay? And, you know, ultimately the ultimate mean or base man is Esau, self-proclaimed white man, okay? But unfortunately, 2/3 of our people follow after the basest, most insignificant man on the earth. So when he gets brought down, when their leader gets brought down, then what does the scripture say? Smite the shepherd and the sheep shall flee. All right. So Esau is basically the leader or the shepherd of the 2/3 on the left hand
Yep.
side. You know, and so these 2/3 they're gonna scatter like roaches when they see that Esau is taken down. You know, because that they will kill they mama for following Esau and getting his approval and money and all that stuff, man.
That's
You
right.
know, we see examples of that, man. We ain't coming out of the blue with this stuff, man. This is documented. You know, go ahead, Bob. Sure.
Want me to continue?
Yeah. Would you finish reading verse 15?
Yeah, that 15, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. And the mighty man shall be humbled. All right. And the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled, man. Which we know, like I said, that's going into Esau being lofty and proud, and those who trust in the sword and in the might of America are also going to be brought down as well. So that's it on that. And then we can get that in Revelation 14 now.
Con. I got it.
Okay, come. We start verse 9.
So we started at 9 con.
Mm-hmm.
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9.
Oh, you know what? You can start verse 8 actually. You can read that real quick.
All right.
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 8. It said, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she had made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Mm-hmm.
There it is again.
Right. So this is there's a difference between the wine of the wrath of her fornication and the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big difference.
Big difference. All right, because that wine of Esau, the wine of Babylon the Great, is, like I said earlier, the false philosophies that they teach. You know, that America teaches that it's okay to be a homosexual and pedophile and have sex with animals, okay, and things of that nature. You know, all this is an extremely long list, okay. All that mindset that our women are just so drenched in, all right, and our people are so consumed in, that is going to be done away with when Yahushua returns, man. Okay, you got it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture.
Without mixture, folks. So I can brother get that word without mixture in the Greek. Okay, and so it says, let's say, if any man worship the beast, which is the beast is NATO and the EU, right? And then you got the image of the beast is basically the New World Order that Esau is trying to put up, right? And receive the mark in his forehead. Okay, that mark, like the brother went into, RFID microchip. Okay, and those people who have those things basically sealed in their heads or in their minds, and have the physical mark in their hand, they're gonna what? Drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Okay. Now, brother got that
word
Yeah,
for you, mixture.
Yeah, go ahead.
Strong's G 194. Akratos. Akratos.
Akratos. So that goes into a mixed, pure, without mixture.
So that wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is basically the most painful and destructive death imaginable, that pure wrath of the Most High that He's stored, like the scripture says, in the last days, He basically made different spirits created for vengeance. Okay,
Right.
Those spirits are going to be released in the last days for maximum effect. All right, of terror and the respect of the Most High to be put in the earth forever, man. Okay, and so that wine of the wrath of the Most High without mixture, like the brother said, is pure. It's unmixed. Okay, so it's as strong as it gets. That's how strong it's gonna be. Okay, of destruction upon those who take the chip. Can we read it again, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yeah. Let's read it
come
again.
on.
Yeah. Let us
It
sink
says,
in. Let it marinate.
let's get verse 9.
Yeah.
It says, all right, Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
And so what causes that, man? That rebellion, like we read earlier in the 8th chapter, okay? It made all nations to drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Can a brother get Jeremiah 25:18 real quick? That's the quick point, you know. Let's see. Yeah, before we continue on that verse, let's go ahead and get that real quick in Jeremiah.
All right. This is Jeremiah 25:18. To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and an astonishment, and hissing a curse as it is this day.
Matter of fact, if you could start at verse 15 real quick,
Come
and
on,
then drop
Jeremiah.
down to 18.
18, okay, Jeremiah 25:15. For thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand.
Now that's the same wrath of the Most High.
Yeah, but Shemar Shepherd.
Yeah, yeah. That's the same wrath of the Most High, man, that the nations are going to experience. Okay. Now go ahead, Baruch Shem.
Okay. And cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
Right. So all the nations that the Most High chooses to experience that destruction, they're going to go through it, man. Okay. And they're not going to be able to escape. They're going to try to, push the cup away, and no, they're going to be made to drink it though. Okay. Why is that? Because they've walked in great pride, and it's time for them to be judged. Okay, including 2/3 of our people, man. Okay, now Baruch Shah, because it lists, it goes into all the different nations and all that, but we're gonna focus on 2/3 in this lesson. So, verse 18. Yeah,
Jeremiah 25:18. To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof.
Right. So the rulers, and the leaders of our nation. All right, Jerusalem and Judah, basically the nation of Israel in general, okay, to do what?
To make them a desolation.
Right, so to make them a desolation.
A desolation.
I don't know. I'll get that real quick, man. Desolate, man, that's the same word in Joel, the 2nd chapter, that's used for the missiles, before them is a Garden of Eden, and after a desolation. After the missiles hit, that same word, desolation, is used. All right, basically saying that the land is going to be destitute of life.
Yeah.
We
I
love
got
that
the
word.
word for you. This is Jeremiah 25:18. Desolation.
Strong's H 27:23.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hebrew.
Let me
Sold by
Let me see real quick. Yeah, you can only really do that in the Greek. Let's see here. Charabah, which is waste. The root word is charab, which means desolation, drought, heat, parching heat. So this talking about basically destruction through heat.
Yep.
Okay, and charabah, which is basically the feminine version of it, is a place that's laid waste, a desolation, a ruin. Okay, let's see here. Basically a drought, by implication, a dry place, destruction, a laid waste place. Okay, so a dried up, used up place, man. Basically like a desert. You know, when a desert gets so dry with the cracks in the ground and all that, it's just gonna be just that through, man. Okay.
That's right.
So that's what's coming to pass here, man. Okay, to 2/3 of Jake. Okay, you can finish that out, bro.
In astonishment, in hissing, in a curse, as it is this day.
Right, man. Okay, and that curse. Oh, we gotta get that in Zechariah. We'll talk about the eyes that be consumed.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, exactly. All right, because that's the curse that the scripture talk about in Malachi. Okay, I'm gonna get that real quick. In Malachi, the 4th chapter, and 6. Malachi 4 and 6. It says, "And he shall turn the heart of the fathers," talking about Elijah the prophet, which we're known in these times as Abba Bivens. All right, "And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." Now, what is that curse? The curse is the destruction, man. The 2/3 is gonna go through. All right, chiefly the thermonuclear missiles. Okay. All right, and what was we asking again?
This is Zechariah.
Okay,
14.
yeah, kind of.
All right. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua will smite the people that have fought against Jerusalem."
Now pause real quick. Fought against Jerusalem, right? Now have not some of our people joined the forces of these other nations
Yep.
and to fight against Israel, man? You know, you got examples of that in Maccabees, man. You know, where you had these other foolish men basically going and try to make pacts with Esau, okay, and turn around and fight against us, you know.
That's right.
And so they're enemies of Jerusalem as well, because they're traitors, okay. And two-thirds of our people are traitors of the Most High, man. Okay, you got
That's
it.
right, brother.
You got it.
It says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth."
Right. Does that sound like it feels good?
Hell no.
Come on, man. There's evidence in the scriptures that the full wrath, the pure wrath of the Most High is going to come upon the evildoers. And we're just simply bringing it out, you know? And so that's going into how, when you look at how a nuclear missile, a nuclear bomb works, the first thing that you experience is that heat, okay? Because it heats up the atmosphere, all right, first, and then after that you got the shock wave. So you're gonna get burned up, basically all the way through, from inside out, okay? And then you're gonna get blasted away, man. All right, just go look at the test videos of the nuclear missiles. You'll see what it does to houses.
Yep.
Imagine what it does to the human body, you know?
Yeah, you'll see that destroying wind,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
like the scripture mentions. Only thing that can create that destroying wind are them thermonuclear missiles.
Right,
That's right, brother.
right. And this is their real hell, man. All right, not that madness that the Christian church teaches you, okay? This is the real lake of fire, okay, that's gonna come upon those that take the chip. It all goes back to don't take the mark of the beast, which is the chip, man. And we're gonna keep wanting Jake, okay, until the Most High says otherwise.
Yeah. And
No.
what you have to understand in doing so, we getting the blood off of our hands.
Mm-hmm.
So now your blood is going to be upon your own head if you choose not to listen. But the Most High is sending his servants, the prophets.
Con.
You brother got it.
Con. Yeah, that was it on that. I guess we can get it. We can finish. I mean, not finish, but we get Psalm
Oh,
75
I
and 8.
got one real quick. I
okay.
do got a quick precept.
Okay, you can hold Psalm 75 and 8, brother.
Come on.
Here we go.
And then we'll finish out in Revelation because we didn't finish the other part after it.
This is let me see this. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse. This is Psalm 21 and verse 8. It says, "Thy hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee." It says, "Thou shalt make them a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Most High shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them." And that's the point.
Right. So the Most High is going to swallow up essentially the nations that rebel against His will, which all the nations are. If you read it, is Psalm 73. Psalms 83. All the nations are in league with each other to take us down, man.
That's right.
Okay. It's like when when you got somebody that let's say for example Avengers. The Avengers they was teaming up to fight one dude, Thanos. You know what I mean? Because they know the potential, that he had. You know what I'm saying? So just showing you that Israel has way more potential than all these other nations combined, and that's why they're going to join forces, not only to fight against us, but against our Savior himself, Yahweh Shai. Or attempt to fight, I should say. Was that it on that, brother?
That was the point. On that.
Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and hit that in Psalm 75.
All right, this Psalm 75 and 8.
And
Psalm
we'll go back to it.
75 and 8.
Okay.
For in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Shah there is a cup, and the wine is red.
Now that wine, that red wine represents judgment. All right, punishment. Okay, you got it out.
It is full of mixture.
And that word mixture, I can't remember what it is in the Hebrew, but when you go into it, it's a mixture of wine and spices. Okay, wine and spices. So it's not an easy drink to drink. You got it out.
And he poureth out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
Right. So the dregs is the remaining part of the drink. All right. And if you ever had a drink with different types of things in it, you tend to have the weightier things of the drink settle down in the drink, right? So say for example you have some some tea that you made, and you try to filter most of it, but some of it is gonna fall down to the bottom. All right. Well, if you got a mixture, which like I said, when you look up that word in the Hebrew, it goes into wine with spices. Well, those spices are going to be in the dreg. It's going to be in the last part of it because that wine is going to get poured out first, right? And then that last part, the heaviest part, is going to be in that cup. And then what it say? Who's going to drink it up?
All of the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
All of the wicked of the earth, man. All right. So the 2/3, all right, the other nations, the Edomites, all of them are going to drink of that mixture, man. All right, thus saith the scriptures.
That's right.
You got something more?
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 3. It says, "The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled. For Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore had the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left." And you're speaking about the curses. Right, the missiles are going to go forth as a curse. That's their curse that's going to devour the earth. Those thermonuclear missiles. Whether it be intercontinental or ICBM or, Russia gonna be shooting them from submarines. They gonna be coming from everywhere, close range. You're gonna have intercontinental. There's gonna be 200 million nuclear warheads gonna turn the entire United States into a lake of fire.
Right.
That's why I say few men left, man. the inhabitants of the earth are burned and few men left, and those few men are going to be the elect that make it up out of this lake of fire. You know?
That's right. Exactly, man. You know, and there's nothing that these armies of Esau are going to be able to do about it, man. So Memorial Day and all that, all these different statues that Esau's put up in order to so-called honor the veterans.
Right.
All right, the veterans of Esau are enemies to the Lord, man. Straight up, because if you in Esau's army, you gonna fight against the Lord.
Yeah.
If you're still alive, Esau gonna send you out there to fight against the nations, and then y'all all gonna try to join forces, and y'all all gonna get burnt up, man. Simple as that.
Yep.
You know, scriptures say, "He that is not with me is against me." So we can finish that out in Revelation 14. We were in the middle of verse 10.
I'm going to show it at the top. 10. Revelation chapter 14, verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Woo, man.
Yeah, brother.
So he's going to be tormented with fire and brimstone. What do you think that is, man? That's the thermonuclear missiles, like the elder was just going into. Okay, he's going to be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, because that's the day that, you know, not only we here on the earth, but also the heavenly bodies in the spirit world are looking to see, man, the judgment and the retribution of these other nations, chiefly Esau, okay, and the retribution of the nation of Israel, okay. It says, and in the presence of the Lamb. So Yahushua himself is gonna also see that, man. He's gonna see what did it say? Basically the effects of those that every eye shall see him, even him that pierced him, something like that. In the first chapter of Revelation, you know, yeah, you know, where does it say that at? 7, 1 and 7. I got it real quick.
All right.
Yeah, this is Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. All right, so all the nations of the earth are going to be crying and so sad because Yahushua is coming to return. That don't sound like a peaceful return to me, right? And how is those that pierced him going to see Yahushua if they're dead? Because of reincarnation. But you ask a Christian to explain that, it's sealed. You know?
Yeah.
So, do we read verse 11?
I can read it.
Okay, yeah, that's the
We ain't
end of
really
it.
that yet. It said, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
So America, is going to be the real memorial. The destruction of America is going to be the real Memorial Day, man. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that smoke that ascended up forever, America is going to be so burnt and toasted up. It's just going to continue to smoke, okay, for a very long period of time, okay? I will lump, you know, a continual, long period of time, man, okay? And it said what? And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name, because they're going to be going through all types of plagues, all right?
That's right.
And torments, but they're not going to repent. That's why the Most High is going to have to get rid of them by way of thermonuclear fire, man. Okay? Y'all brothers,
Let me read 12.
Okay.
It said, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and the faith of Yahushai.
Right.
So they say the law is done away with. Well, here in Revelation, the last book said that, you know, the patience of the saints. And it will say, here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, those who are going to escape this fire. You know, even Judges 5 and 11 tells you that they that are grab it real quick, they escape the noise of the archers. But the brother gonna read it real quick. I forget exactly how it's worded.
I think it's 5 and 11.
Judges 5 and 11.
This is Judges 5. In Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers.
Delivered from the noise of the archers, which is the archers are those who shoot the bow,
Yeah.
or the arrows. The arrows are the nuclear missiles. The bows are the silos that the missiles are shot from.
Yeah.
So all these nations with nuclear technology and capabilities, they are the modern day archers. You understand? Go ahead, brother. From the top.
Okay, this Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water.
And the places of drawing water is the places of our captivity. Mainly here in America, you got all 12 tribes here in the United States. But you know, other places are gonna get hit with them missiles too. Jake, we all over the earth.
Yeah.
All right, Israel is all over the earth. But the places of drawing water are everywhere that Jake is in captivity. Mainly here in America, first and foremost. Go ahead, brother.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shah, even
Go ahead.
even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel.
So say, there they shall rehearse the righteous acts, keeping the commandments, like we just read Revelation 14 and 12. The commandments were never done away with. And that's a lie that you're going to, you know, that all those who believe, you've been deceived, and you're going to be destroyed for your for the belief in that lie, because you're going to take that chip ultimately, as you believe anything that this devil tells you, and you're going to end up taking that mark of the beast, and you're going to incur the complete, entire, and pure wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It's not going to be cut. You know, he's just going to put that full fury, that indignation, like we read.
Yep.
Indignation is righteous anger. So he's going to be right to destroy you in a vicious, most heinous way that, you know, we can't even fathom.
Yep. Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
But yeah, we hoping to escape that wrath by rehearsing the righteous acts, keeping the commandments to the very best of our ability. Not believing this bull that they teach in these churches about the law being done away with. That's a deception. But yeah, brother.
You should a little bit more on that.
Oh, you
Just
okay?
finish it off. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Okay. Let's get that lake of fire.
Okay. What's that in 20th chapter? Well, 19.
19.
19
Yeah.
talking about that.
I had a quick precept.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. This is going into how people, they take on the customs and the doctrines of Esau, man. They don't want to hearken back into the word, and they're going to receive that full judgment, man. That full wrath and full anger, because you don't want to come back to the Heavenly Father. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe, destruction, to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh Shem El Shah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. Yeah, man. So our people, they take on the custom of Esau wholeheartedly, and they don't look back. They're not coming back to the Lord. 2/3, they just done. Because they take on a philosophy, and the Most High is going to pour that pure destruction upon them because they don't want to come back. And that's going to lead them to taking the mark of the beast, because they just so intact with Esau's doctrine and his philosophy, they're not going to come back to the Heavenly Father, and that's going to lead to that chip. And that's going to lead to even more bigger destruction that we can't fathom amongst our 2/3 of our people.
Come on, brother. Yeah. This is Revelation 19 and 19. Is going into what you was just talking about. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and the armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. You want to speak on that?
Yeah. Con. One more
You
time.
was going into it.
Yep.
It says, this is Revelation 19 and 19, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse.
Right, and this is a beautiful story, man, because this is basically the finale, okay, of Esau versus the Most High, essentially, man, and his armies, you know, which is really not going to be a fight, because when you read in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, is very descriptive on how he basically didn't have to lift a finger in order to completely, eradicate Esau's armies from off the face of the earth, and these other nations for that matter. Okay, it's going to be an effortless task. Why? Because man can't fight against the Most High, man. Again, you can't fight against Yahweh Shai, who has been given the power and glory and dominion higher than any other being or entity in the universe. But Esau's so proud, he's still gonna try. You keep going.
All right, yeah. It said, and against his army, verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
Right. So that beast, NATO and the EU, okay, and with him the false prophet. The false prophet representing the Vatican. Going into the false philosophies that they push. Because that's where the Pope, is supposed to be the holiest man on earth, the leader of Christianity. Okay, he's supposed to be the one pushing, righteousness upon the earth. But here it is, he's pardoning these different, what they call not bishops, but cardinals. That have been charged with
bishops too,
all types of heinous acts.
That's right.
Of homosexuality and pedophilia.
Yeah.
But you see now. I mean, bro, it wasn't even 10 years ago that homosexuality was legalized, and now you got it all over the damn place, man. In the cartoons, you know what I mean?
No, bro.
Esau just couldn't wait to make it legal, man. So that's how that these miracles, all right, of being able to be gay and live, that's being perpetuated here. Okay, all that's gonna get burned up, man, with the missiles, man. Okay, you got it out.
And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast.
Right. So those miracles, okay, he deceived those that had received the mark of the beast. These different ideologies that are not pursuing to the actual scriptures, okay, are being pushed upon the people, making them basically accept that it's okay that to take the chip because it's not the mark of the beast. But they don't tell you what the hell it is. What is it then? They're not going to tell you what it is, because if they did, you wouldn't take the chip. You see? But it's all set up like this in order for prophecy, and no Christian's going to be able to break it down, man. They're going to try to apply, Gog and Magog to, different aspects of what's going on in the Middle East. They're going to be all off, man. What's that dude? Are You Serious? What's that dude name with the glasses? I can't remember the dude's name right off the top of my head. Yeah, but the end time prophecy. What's the nation of pro Israel Christians? All right, they don't got the truth, man.
No,
trying to break down prophecies in Ezekiel and all that, man. Edomites, but most of these people out there are gonna be wooed by that. And they're gonna continue thinking that those Jewish imposters over there in the land of Israel are the true Jews, and they're gonna base their understanding of prophecy based off of that.
Yeah, bro.
So it's just all types of madness, man, that the Most High has used to deceive the nations, so that ultimately they can take the chip and be destroyed.
That's right. And one of the things we was talking, I believe that was Friday night, we were just chopping it up, brainstorming, and Yashwama had brought up how, it speaks about miracles, and he brought up a real good point that, when they really start marketing this chip, when they get ready to make it mandatory, they gonna push it as, you having God-like abilities through that chip, because you're going to be linked into the cloud. You're going to have access to all this information. You're going to be able to open doors and do this and that.
Start cars.
You know what I'm saying? Start your car, all kind of stuff. So they're going to deceive you with those so-called miracles, and present it to you like, yeah, you're going to have the knowledge of the universe right inside of you, and these other things, man, presenting it as a miracle, and deceiving you. And you're going to take that, and like we read one of the scriptures that said that you're going to be tormented with plagues. That very mark of the beast itself bring plagues because it causes cancers, you know, ulcers. Man, it eats because it's radiation. It eats away at your flesh, man. People, man, yeah, it's gonna be horrible. But a lot of you people gonna be deceived by the, you know, Esau presenting it as something miraculous,
Right.
you know, and a blessing. No, man, that's an abomination before Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
You know, and in essence, and I'm gonna do a sit down on that. In essence, you know, you basically, Esau is bringing you into his domain because Esau is artificial.
That's right.
He's taking you out of the natural with that chip into the artificial because there's a such thing called the Internet of Things. Well, you'll be a part of that Internet of Things.
Well, what is the Internet of Things based off run off of? It's run off of the 5G
They
network.
hit that 5G.
That
Right.
Esau is starting up. I think
Exactly.
Verizon Wireless, they already got phones with 5G.
Exactly.
You know, you see the ads on YouTube at the top of the thing right there, letting you know, as if 4G wasn't fast enough. See, at first it was 3G. You know, that was when that was okay. You got internet and all that, and then or a form of it, and then you got 4G. And now, as if that's not fast enough, why you think Esau?
Right.
You think we really need it to be 2 seconds faster, man? No, man. Esau wants to be able to have everything interconnected like that.
Right, exactly.
You know, he wants to know every time you open up your refrigerator, how many times you use the microwave a day, how many hours of TV you sit and watch. You know what I mean? How many times you spend on this website? You know, how many times you go to this store and buy this thing. And the chip is going to be able to track all that because not only is it going to track your location, it's going to track every single payment that you make. You see? You're going to be integrated within Esau's Internet of Things. You're going to become one of those things.
It's one of them things.
On the internet.
That's right, brother.
You know?
Come. And you remember Cain's curse, which Cain was reincarnated as Esau, the Most High say, thou art cursed from the earth, which receiveth thy brother's blood. So he can't interface with when Most High took his melanin, he cannot interface with nature as we can, as we do.
Right.
You know, and he's been setting the infrastructure up to make it harder and harder for us, spraying chemtrails in the sky. You know, he's polluting the water. He's just defiling everything, making it harder for us to interface and even, you know, get the things that we need from nature. So, you know, he wants the ultimate goal. He wants to pull you into his matrix, like the brother said, and he can micromanage everything.
God.
He can micromanage everything.
I got
That's
you.
what this devil wants to be. He sits in the temple as God, showing himself that he is God. Loosely paraphrasing. But yeah, brother, you got it.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 19. It says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. All right. All of the life on earth waits for the revealing of, you know, Israel and his power, man. Okay. Because under the earth, right now, Esau ruling the earth right now is causing the earth to basically die, man. And basically, Esau is like a parasite, all right, and the earth is the host, okay, and all that is pro-life is suffering because of this parasite on the earth. It says, verse 20.
Well, real quick, here in North America, you know, you had the dodo was everywhere, man. Now the dodo is extinct. The dodo bird. The dodo is extinct, man. You got extinct species of animals now that this devil has. He almost wiped out the buffalo. Just to give a few examples of what the brother is saying. He almost wiped out the buffalo just to kill Gad. You know, or he tried to genocide Gad, the Gadites. You got it, Doc.
Yep. It says, verse 21. It says, verse 20. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity. All right, the creature going into us, these carnal bodies that we inhabit. All right, we're basically likening the creatures. Okay, made subject, basically having to be subservient unto vanity. Vanity is an empty thing. Basically, the wickedness that's sown in our flesh causes us to consistently transgress the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, which is vain.
That's
You
right,
know,
brother.
sin is vain, but at the end of the day, we can't help but do it because we're in the flesh. However, it says not willingly, right? We didn't choose to, be in this position, but by reason of him, who is him? The Most High.
Most High.
All right? By reason of him who had subjected the same in hope. All right? So by the will of the Most High, he has put us in this position so that we can hope for eternal life, man.
Beautiful.
Okay? Now the point is in verse 21. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. All right. So those labor pains that we're experiencing right now are due to the fact that we're about to get delivered out of this place, man. All right. And we can't stand to see 2/3 prosper. All right. These other nations prosper because they fall in wickedness. But when we enter into the temple of the Most High, like the scriptures say in Psalm 73, then we understood their end.
Then we understood.
You know?
Right.
And that's the end is what? Thermonuclear missiles, man. The pure wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? So I don't know what
It's a little bit more in Revelation.
Okay.
So this is back in Revelation chapter 19, verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone.
God, yeah, so the beast was taken, like I said, NATO and the EU and the false prophet, all right, which is the Vatican, represents the Vatican, okay, which with which he deceived them that received the mark of the beast and then that worshiped his image, all right, that image of the beast is the New World Order, like I said earlier. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone, all right, like I said, that lake of fire going into the thermonuclear missiles, man, that's just going to hit America, all right, and it's going to hit other parts of the world that the Most High is set for destruction. Okay, and when you look at those who have deceived the world, which is we just read it. Okay, those who follow them are also going to be without a leader. Okay, and they're going to either have two choices: submit or be destroyed. Okay, that's why the Most High is going to smite. He's going to smite the source of wickedness. He's going to cut down a tree and uproot it.
And the roots.
You know,
That's right.
so all of the other forms of life that gather towards that tree are going to be, they're going to be forced to make a choice, man. Okay, get with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua or get lost, man.
Right.
You know, and so that's
You finish your point. I was just gonna finish this chapter.
okay. You can go ahead and finish it.
All right. This is verse 21. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse.
Right. So those who didn't get right, all right, they chose death than to serve the Most High. Well, then that's what they got. You know, and him that sat upon the horse is Yahweh Shai. Okay, you got it out.
Which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh.
Right. So that goes into how the laser beams that's going to come out of the chariots. That's the sword that Yahushua is going to use and that proceeds out of his mouth to destroy these armies. Okay, and all the fowls of the heaven, when they see all these bodies that are just laid out on the fields across the world. Okay, but
We're gonna have a buffet.
Exactly. They're going to fill themselves to the brim.
That's
all right,
right.
with these with the flesh of these slain enemies of the Most High, man.
That's right, brother.
You know, so if that doesn't convince you to get right, man. If you don't want to end up in the stomach of a bird, all right, then you need to get right, man. You know, because the Most High has many ways to destroy those who are rebellious against him. You know, did y'all have precepts or anything else?
I got a quick precept to go with what you were saying about how the people dead bodies gonna be laid out. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and rebuke with flames of fire. Just to go back to brother up. I'm gonna keep going at 16. For by fire and his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Just to back you up, brother. You can
Yeah, man. You know, another precept going into how multitudinous the carcasses are going to be in the aftermath of everything, man.
Yeah.
You know, which is going to be so plenteous. The bodies and carcasses are going to be so plenteous. We're going to have to sever out men of continual employment to bury those bodies, like I talked about in Ezekiel 39.
That's right.
All right, so hey, this thing, hey man, you can scoff and mock and laugh if you want to, man. All right, but the day's gonna come when we're gonna see all these things come to pass. All right, and it's gonna happen sooner than you think. Okay, so hey, you know, choose you which day, which side you're gonna be on, man. All right, the side of life or death at the end of the day. You know. So I don't know if you guys have any closing points. Hey man, so once again, man, you know, taking the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, is gonna equate to you experiencing the pure wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
That's right.
All right, and you know, the destruction of America is gonna be the real Memorial Day. So I brought this out, you brothers.
True, brother.
I brought this out, you brothers will edify with that. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Davos the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.